What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to share a couple more stories from my days working in fast food. Now, I told myself I didn't want to resume this series with more horror stories, but I've received a lot of requests for more crazy stories that I have. Unfortunately, most of the stories I have from working in fast food aren't pleasant, so I'm just letting you know right now that these are not happy stories. Anyways, this was about 3 years ago, I think, and I was working at Domino's at the time, and this particular location was in the heart of Akron, Ohio. It wasn't a very good location. It was right across the street from a drug testing facility, and unfortunately, drugs were and still are a big problem in this area. Anyways, I think it was a Saturday night, and we had just died down from a big rush, and this guy walks in, and he walks in very aggressive, and he's looking rough. I think he was clearly under the influence of something, and which is always scary because when you encounter people that are under the influence, they tend to act erratically. There's an element of unpredictability, and you got to be cautious with how you interact with people like this because even like the wrong body language can set a person off like this. So he walks in really aggressive and he starts shouting at my general manager, "Hey man, you got a couple dollars I could get?" And my general manager is real dismissive. He's like, "Nah man, sorry, we don't do that." And he persists. He keeps going, "Come on man, just give me $1. Give me something, man." And he's like, "No dude, we don't do that." Keeps going. Eventually, he goes from the register over to where the make line is, and he starts shouting at the other employees there, and he starts saying, "Hey, what do you got? Some money? You got some change? You got $1?" And at this point, I'm just like, "Dude, you gotta go. I'm sorry, like you gotta get out of here." And he's real mad about it. He's like, whatever. Eventually, I get him to leave. And he immediately goes into the parking lot and he starts walking up to cars with customers in it, and he starts, harassing them, asking them for money. And I can hear him shouting from inside the store, like at people. And, imagine so at Domino's, you could pull up and order online and we'll run it out to your car. So imagine, you just pulled up, you're waiting, or whatever you're doing, you're sitting in your car and some guy's, knocking on your window and he's like, "Hey man, give me $1. And he was a big dude. He was probably 6'5", something like that. And he was moving real aggressive, So he was intimidating people, and, we don't want to lose customers. We don't want that kind of stuff, obviously. So I go outside and I'm like, "Dude, you gotta leave. I'm about to call the police." And he starts yelling at me. He's like, "Man, you all hating, whatever." I don't remember exactly what he said, but I just remember the confrontation of it. So I call the cops and I tell them what's happening. And after I get off the phone, I go outside one more time and I tell him, I'm like, "Yo, dude, I just called the police. You have to leave now. It's your last chance." And he doesn't care. He just keeps going up to other cars, asking them for money. And we were real close to the police station. They were really quick to respond. It was a dense area too, so there was always police around. And they got there in about 5 minutes, I'd say. And they pull up, and the guy starts running. And we had a real big parking lot. He starts running, and the police, they get out of their car, and they immediately tackle the guy. Now, at this particular moment, we had a delivery driver walking in the parking lot up to the store, and she saw the whole thing. And she comes into the store and she's like, "You guys saw that, right?" We're like, "Yeah." She's like, "I just heard a real loud pop. When they tackled him, there's a really loud pop." And I'm thinking to myself, maybe he broke something, maybe, I don't know what that could have been. She was like, "It was loud." Anyways, eventually the police go inside and they talk to my general manager and they want him to, tell him what was going on. And he just goes outside the store to talk about it. So customers aren't seeing police in the store. And this is what he told me. Apparently, the guy broke his neck, and he ended up dying, like on the spot there. And this is just the kind of stuff, unfortunately, like people in food service have to put up with on a daily basis, especially if you're in a rough area. This is just the unfortunate reality of it, which is kind of why I'm telling this story, because I feel like it's raising awareness to the kind of stuff we put up with. And because I think food service workers are treated really poorly by customers a lot of times, and they don't realize what they go through. But beyond like confrontation of customers, they deal with a lot. We really need to respect those people, because they're working really hard, they're doing a lot, and they're putting up with a lot for very low pay. And there's an extra part to this story that's, I don't really know how to preface it, but apparently something fell out of his pocket. This is what the general manager told me. And the police officer said it was a penis pump. This guy was just carrying around a penis pump in his pocket. If you don't know what that is, I'm not going to explain it. You can look it up. But this was the character that came in, and it's really unfortunate that he died. I don't know why he ran. I'm assuming maybe he had a warrant or something, but yeah. And this wouldn't be the first or last time we would encounter something like this. So this next story is another really tragic story. This one's kind of hard for me to relive, but this was also at Domino's, but it was at a different location. This was the same location where in the previous video I told the two stories of us getting robbed and the other person overdosing and almost dying. This was on the west side of Cleveland, Ohio. It was a much worse area in terms of crime than the Akron, Ohio location. There was a really bad drug problem. The homeless population was really out of control. Violent crime was a big problem. We heard gunshots every day, all day. It was like a normal thing. And we had this girl working there. And at this point, she had been working there, I think, 2 months. And when she got hired, she told everyone, hey, I'm in recovery from drugs. And she was a real charismatic girl. We all really liked her. She was a really hard worker, very admirable person. She was, battling this addiction and rebuilding her life. And we all really liked and respected her. And one day we're working and she tells everyone, hey, I'm going to go use the restroom. I'll be right back. So probably 30 minutes go by. And eventually my general manager is like, hey, has anyone seen her? Like, where did she leave? Like, what happened? And he asks one of the other female employees, can you go check the bathroom, see if she's in there? Can you knock on the door or something? And she goes over there, the door is locked, and she is in there. She's knocking on the door, no one's responding. So the general manager goes over there, he starts banging on the door. He's like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? No response. So he kicks the door open, and she's in there. She's on the floor. There's no color in her face. She's got a needle in her arm, and she has no pulse. And he goes and gets the Narcan that we kept in the store. He's administering it. I call 911. I tell them, hey, we need you here ASAP. And we had, 16, 17-year-olds working there. Everyone saw this. It was a really horrific thing to see, especially for younger people. And she died. She ended up dying. And it's really tragic, that she was battling this issue and ended up losing in the end. And this is, again, another example of things we experienced working in food service. Obviously, I worked in some much rougher areas than probably most people, but the thing with the franchise that I worked for is they like to open locations in rougher areas because the sales would be really good. That's how they explained it to me. And anyways, that's off topic, but basically the reason I'm telling these two stories is incentive to you guys to one, respect people working in food service. You know, they deal with more than you think. And incentive for the younger people who's watching this to, you know, do something with your life. Do something that gives you purpose. Find something you're passionate about, and, you know, go to school, pay attention, and pursue your dreams so you don't have to work in these types of jobs for measly pay and live paycheck to paycheck to work, you know, these kind of jobs and deal with this kind of stuff. See this kind of stuff. It's very, you don't want to work at Domino's for the rest of your life. And I'll be honest, you know, as like a general manager, like when you're earning bonus and stuff, yeah, you can make up to 6 figures depending on the location, but money isn't everything. And if you're already working out these kind of jobs, you know, and your manager's telling you, hey, you know, this is where you could go if you really put your feet to the ground and work hard here. You don't want that. It's not going to give you purpose if you're passionate about something else. So really think about that, and don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. It's not cool. It's not worth it. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry to bring more negativity to the channel, but this is what you guys asked for. You guys wanted to hear more crazy stories, so here you go. If you want to hear more, like I said, I got plenty more. And, you know, I thought about doing this, and I figured, you know, there's some good messages in here. And, you know, I think you can take something good out of these stories. So, anyways, if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you to all my subscribers. I love and appreciate all of you. Join the Discord. Link will be in the description. And if you want to support me, there's a link to my Patreon in the description as well. You get access to exclusive content, behind the scenes, bloopers. I don't know what's happening to my voice right now, but like I said, you'll get a lot of good stuff from my Patreon, and you'll be supporting me, so I appreciate that. Oh, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. No, oh wait, foot lettuce guy out.